Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, Black and Married with Kids. I am so excited about tonight because it's Takeover Tuesday and it gives me the opportunity to be right here with you, Black and Married with Kids, powerful couples, people who are united for purpose. Well, for those of you all who are tuning in thus far, I am Dunamis D, aka affectionately known as a spiritual leader, life and relationship coach, Pastor D, to so many as I endeavor to spiritually mentor, guide, pray, lead them right into their destiny as they experience the healing power of God for their life, for their relationships, and for their legacy. So that's why I'm excited, because that's you. You are powerful beyond measure, and you have so much ahead of you as a united couple, as one, being Black, being married, and having powerful children. So that's what we do over there at Dunamis Women Enterprise. We live a life that causes people to go to the next level, the next level, the next level, the next level. So I got some things that I'm going to talk to you about tonight, because I firmly believe in spiritual principles. I firmly believe in spiritual identity. I firmly believe in spiritual awareness. I was talking to someone today, and just doing some reflection on my own life, based upon a relationship, based upon my one of my previous relationships in a marriage. And I was like, man, life has so much meaning based upon us having the ability to walk in our spiritual authority, our spiritual identity. I understand spiritual principles. It has awakened me in so many aspects of life that is just crazy. But we sometimes and oftentimes get so stuck on the everyday duties of what this earthly realm require of us, and it's so much more in depth. It has so much more meaning. And as I was even praying for the man that I have been assigned to and attached to, and in that covenant relationship, it just lets me know more and more how much I have my spiritual authority to walk in, to execute, to live. And let me tell you all something. Based upon that, I am seeing so many results. Okay, it ain't easy though. I'm telling you, it's not easy, because it's based upon the spiritual principles and the spiritual aspect of how and who we were created to be. So tonight, as I'm going to talk to you all, because I want you to be empowered, you all. You know, that's why I love Black and Married with Kids. That's why I'm so grateful for Lamar and Ronnie Tyler giving me this opportunity, because I'm very empathic about us as a Black people, man and a woman, woman and man coming together. We having children. We're preparing them for the legacy. We causing them to live, because when you have children, it's really not about you. Now, how many of you all know that? Angel, do you know that it's not about you? Hey, Calvin, when God gives you kids and children, it's for you to have that responsibility to bring them to a place that they will be your successors. They will do greater, not better, greater. And every generation gets greater and greater and greater and greater. Hey, Taquanda, greater. So this is why we have to understand spiritual principles, not religion, not just going to church or things like that. I'm not knocking that. That will give you an inspiration. That will give you some motivation. But at the end of the night, when you come back home, you have things that you have to implement for you and your life, your relationship, your marriage. So I want to ask you, hey, Sheila, I want to ask you a question, because tonight I'm going to talk about how to really benefit from your covenant relationship, how to really benefit from that. Because just because you marry now, do you know when you get married, it requires more and more. It requires something from you, but yet it's for a benefit. It's to benefit you and your relationship. It's more than just sex. It's more than just going to work. It's more than just having fun. It's more than just posting nice, beautiful pictures. Come on now. You all can't fool me, because I ain't new here. I grew here. So even not with my own life, but coaching so many couples and marriages for almost 30 years, I have heard so many private domains of their heart. But when we step out, we go back to the norm. So these principles that I'm going to give you, I want you to know really how to benefit from your covenant relationship. Now, I got some questions I want to ask you, and I want you to respond. At this point, you can say yes or no. Do you really know? Do you really know how to really maximize and benefit off of the relationship that God has given you with that great man? I'm speaking to women right now. Do you really know how? Hey, Cardarius, do you really know how? The key is how to. Once you get married, you get thrusted into duties, especially those who have children. I have children. They're no longer children where I have to do those things. But I have two powerful daughters. And when I had them, they were 18 months apart. So it was basically like having twins. And I got so dutiful that I didn't understand how to benefit. I didn't understand how to benefit off of the covenant relationship, because as Black people, we were put in situations before marriage, and now we're married. We're trying to make it look perfect when I'm here to tell you that it's not. Sheila said, I'm cleaning the bathroom now. Come on, Sheila, tell the truth. Give me the truth, honey. That's what I want. I don't deal with that fake, shady stuff. I just don't do it. But the more that you are in it, come on now, the more you're in it, the more you learn. It doesn't come just because you said I do and you kiss and you had a beautiful white dress on. You got to grow into that. And so that's why I really want to empower you, because we're preventive. We're not going to go through no divorce. We're not going through any broken relationships. I want to empower you all as women how to live through spiritual principles, because there's no way that you can ever be with anyone, live with anyone. Hey, Dre, you don't get offended. They don't get hurt. You don't get an attitude. They get an attitude. See, we have become conditioned, particularly as Black couples, that, we go through processes and, we learn how to make love and make up. We learn how to kiss and make up. We learn how to suppress. We learn how to repress. We got so many things to do. We don't even deal with it. We think stuff just go away, but it don't. Have you all ever heard of the term residue? Residue will filtrate in your soul. Come on, Latrice. In the crack crevices of your soul. And that stuff will come up at an unopportune time that you wasn't even expecting it. And the first man, let me tell you something. It's inevitable. The first man who has ever hurt you was not your husband. It was your father. Every woman have had an expectation. Every young daughter, every female had an expectation from daddy that daddy did not live up to. So whether he was present, half present, came over every now and then. I'm going to tell you about mine. Mine came when my mama called him and told him she needs some more clothes. She needs some shoes. When she needs something. And so he was not present. Present, but I got conditioned to his presence. Presence, present, but I did not get conditioned to his presence, presence. I thought I was good because he did come and take me shopping. I thought I was good when he did come over and do stuff. So the first covenant relationship that I was in and you are in is in the covenant relationship as daughter and father. As daughter and father. And when that father is present, his presence is very, very paramount. Not because he came home and laid with mama, not because he went to work and this is the place that he reside and pay the mortgage. I'm talking about he really knew how to benefit from the covenant relationship that he was placed in with the mother that God had given the child, which is his wife. And before she was his wife, he knew how to deem her as woman. Yeah, Latrice, my God, my God. You see what I'm saying? But see, we as a Black people, we don't deal with these things. So we get married, okay? And many of us have been divorced and we've been married again. And we're trying to go through this process We're trying to get it right, and we really don't know how to benefit from the covenant relationship because we still have some damaging effects from the first man, then the second man, and in between that marriage, we probably had some A, B, C, D, E, F, G's. That means we had some sex partners, we had some boyfriends, we had some one night stands. So we got all these men in our soul, and we think we good. When I'm here to tell you, we're not good, but yet we're great. But God wants us to get to that greatness. Ain't that right, man? So I want you all to understand that there's some benefits to having a covenant relationship, but you got to be willing to go through some things and face some things in order to benefit from that. And I'm really, really targeting it towards women right now. Why? Okay. Now I'm going to tell you why. So simple. But before I do that, I want to tell you all, I'm Dunamis D. I'm glad that you're here, Black and Married with Kids. If you all don't know what dunamis means, it means a miraculous power, a miraculous force, it's a miraculous strength. I'm the founder of Dunamis Woman Enterprise. I am blessed to be able to work so closely with my daughters who are developing every day to be women. That was the purpose, building a legacy for my children and their children and their children. So I'm grateful to be here. Now, one of the things that we fail to understand in the covenant relationship that we are in particularly is that when we get hurt, you all, there's some things that we put some walls up and then we stop doing and we don't know how to do. So in that, we become withdrawn, we become isolated, and we don't give the fullness of who we are. We don't give that. So when we are doing that, we're not benefiting from all that has been given to us. All that has been given to us. And that's why spiritual principles is so important, because they are called prescriptions, okay? Principles are never to be respected for you. You are to respect the principles. In other words, it's a prescriptive use. It's a prescription that has been given. And when that spiritual prescription has been given, it's going to work for you. You don't go and live it, it's not going to work for you. For instance, okay, let me just use it from a natural standpoint. If the doctor prescribes you something that because something is wrong in your body, you look on that bottle or you look on that label and you look at it and you follow the instructions based upon the prescription. If you don't follow the instructions, you can still take the medicine, but it's key that you follow the instructions, because if not, you're going to still experience some adverse reactions. Okay? So the same way it is naturally, the same way it is spiritually. Based upon who you are as man and woman. See, that's your identity. Husband and wife is not your identity. I'm just here to let you know. If you don't understand the prescriptive use of your creation, the prescriptive use of your covenant, the prescriptive use of not only yourself, but your partner, and you don't read those instructions and you don't know what to do with it and how to take him or her, it's inevitable you're going to have an adverse effect. You're going to have an adverse reaction. So when you were brought to that man was presented to him. That's why I'm talking about women. And I'm going to go back to it because I'm talking about women. As I stated, is because first of all, I am a woman. Who can better talk about a woman than a woman? A man can't talk about being a woman because he a man. A man can't talk about being a woman, and a woman can't talk about being a man. You got to stay in your lane, okay? The second thing is, the reason why I'm telling you this is because I am a birthing canal. I am a womb bearer. I am a life giver. Okay. So I give life. So I birth. So I do that naturally. I still do that spiritually. So wow. What does that mean? I can hear the mind of the man that God has placed in my life. I can hear the mind of him. I can hear his ideas. I can hear his vision. I can hear his mission. And it's go beyond me just doing the duty of, oh, well, let me get this for you. Oh, let me do that for you. Oh, let me do this for you. What it really means, in addition to me doing that, the natural stuff, I know how to live the spiritual principles by birthing that out, by praying for him, by looking at not only his strengths, but his deficits. Now, when is the prayer really effective? Now, this is what I'm going to get to you. This is really going to get you. When is my prayers most effective? When he hurt me. Oh, yeah. When he disappointed me. When he offended me. When he didn't give me what I thought I wanted, when I wanted it, how, when he didn't respond to me how I thought he should respond to me. That is the time that I have to learn how to pray for him, how to pray and get results, and how to walk in my spiritual authority. Many of us think it's when we feel good. Many of us think that it's when we lay and we have great pleasure. See, that don't benefit nothing. What benefits is when I don't want to. What benefits is when I don't feel like it. What benefits is when he ain't saying what I want him to say, but I got to still be who I'm supposed to be because I am woman. I am the life giver of this covenant. I am the womb bearer of this covenant. I am who I am. Are you with me? That's why at Dunamis Woman, I am hosting, facilitating, teaching you how to in these workshops, women. Okay, because our Black men need us. I believe in the healing power of God, but it's just not physical. They need us to be. So when I'm praying and learning the skill and the art of knowing how to do that, how to walk in my spiritual authority, then now my covenant relationship have so many benefactors. So many benefactors. Let me share something with you. And this is real talk. I'm going to give you an example. And I'm going to talk more about this when you sign up for the workshop and you come. Because I'm not going to just be running my mouth. It's going to be a participatory setting when we have these workshops. I'm going to hear your heart. I'm going to get into the nuts and bolts and the crust of your covenant with not yourself, but your covenant, first of all, with who you are and the spiritual principles that's required for your life. And your marriage is going to benefit from it. I ain't here to talk about your problems. I ain't here to talk about all what's going on with your man. That ain't what we're going to be talking about. We're going to really, in these workshops, that's why it's called workshops, get into some real key nut and bolts about who you are as a dunamis woman, the womb bearer, the life giver, and in the places of your soul where you have been offended, the places of your soul where you have been attitudinal, the places of your soul where you suppress because you didn't get what you want to get when you got it. Let me tell you something. Two things I'm going to tell you. I keep saying that. First of all, when people tell me that they've been married 25, 30, 40 years, I'm not impressed. I guess you say, well, Dee, why are you not impressed? Well, because I'm not impressed because they endured a whole lot, but they didn't deal with a whole lot. Oh, yeah, They endured a whole lot, but they still got some mess and some residue deep down in their soul. And then now it's cheaper to keep her. Okay, you invested financially, you live together because you got the home, but in the household and the substance of your heart and your soul, it's really not beneficiary for your covenant relationship anymore to experience what you're called to experience. So the longer you've been married, the more you got to face some things within yourself because you cannot be married 20 and 30 years and never have gotten offended. You cannot be married 10 or 12 years and never have gotten an attitude and he didn't hurt you. Many of you all have experienced infidelity. You've experienced abusive words. You've experienced verbal abuse. You've experienced emotional abuse. You've experienced so many things. Emotional abuse is not giving you what you need emotionally. Yeah, you got to screw, you got to lay, but you didn't get your emotional needs. Women don't need sex. We need affection. But you know what? You just had to go through some duties and did not get it. Now, the other reason why I'm telling you this is because it's time for you to get into a place that you really know how to execute to get to where you're going to the next level. Okay? I know you said a lot of things that you wanted in your life and in your legacy in 2018, and now we're already embarking upon 2019. Be honest, has it really come to pass? Are things the same or are they worse? Did you really meet some of your covenant goals? Did you really make some things happen covenantly together, united as one? The way you wanted, the way you hoped, the way you expected? Our men need us to be who we are so they can be who they are. It's together, you all. You're not in a marriage just to go here and go home and come to work, close the door, go back to bed, get up and eat. And it's a routine day after day. Before you know it, it's a week, it's a month. And now we're in another year. There's more. So what I'm going to share with you is I did some of these principles that I did, and I know that they work. Okay? Going back to what you don't feel like. I was married, loved him, still do, went out, stepped out with a woman. I could have did a waiting to exhale. Oh, yes, I could have. And this ain't just one time. And this ain't just with the first marriage, okay? I could have did a whole lot of things in myself and suppressed a whole lot. But I had to know how to implement the principle of praying for him in the times of our difficulties. Not praying for us, praying for him. So in praying for him, because when somebody hurts you, let me tell you my definition of hurt that I had learned long time ago. And so because I learned it and knew it, although the actions may have seemed to be very severe, but I had an understanding that it did not impact me the way that it could have if I didn't have an understanding. So my definition of hurt has always been that I acquired, looking for someone to give you something that they don't have the capacity to give. Okay? Looking for someone to give you something that they don't have the capacity to give. So I did understand his capacity. It didn't justify the behavior. So when I began to pray for him who hurt me, I prayed God increase his capacity. Not for me, but his capacity to know how to love himself. Many of our men have not really learned how to love themselves. We all have been damaged, you all. I had to learn. I'm still learning how to love myself. But if I keep focusing on someone else and not focus on me, and if I keep focusing on me and not focusing on someone else, I'm not going to benefit off of the covenant relationship that was given to me. Now, hey, Saleha, why covenant? Covenant means a binding agreement. Covenant means I'm not marrying you for your strengths. Covenant means I'm marrying you because I know your weaknesses. I know your issues, and I'm the woman who was assigned to it. I understand. I don't care. He could go lay, play, stay. It don't matter to me. It's only one woman on earth that's assigned. Outside of mother, it's wife. Okay? That's why the word of God says for the man, he didn't tell the woman, to leave mother and father and cleave to his wife, because the wife has what he needs. He didn't say, woman, go cleave to your husband. He said, man, leave your mama, leave your daddy, and go and cleave to the woman who know how to handle the issues you have. She knows how to pray for you. She knows how to take your weaknesses and cause them to become your strengths. See, in the hour of time we're living in, we all just want the strengths, but we don't want to deal with the infirmities. That's what weaknesses is. It's the diseases in their soul. So I am the woman that knows how to spiritually birth. I am the woman who knows how to pray. I am the woman who knows how to implement spiritual principles when I get up off my knees and I'm walking it. See, you could pray for 15 minutes, but you still got 23 hours and 45 minutes of the day that you still got to live. Okay? So you got to walk it out more than you're going to talk it out. Oh, I'm going to say that again. You got to walk it out more than you talk it out. So when you sign up for these workshops, Dunamis Woman, Powerful Women, married, single, divorced, widowed, whatever your status you call yourself, you're still a woman and you're still a wife. You might not have the ring on your finger, but the ring don't define who you are. Do you know so many women got rings on their fingers and they ain't living a bit nickel's worth of dog meat as a wife? Okay? They just want the benefits of that union, but they don't want the benefits of the covenant. The covenant, the ring don't make you. Now, I've officiated many ceremonies of weddings, so I'm telling you, the ring don't make you one. It's the ability to stand united when it's good and when it's bad. When issues are prevalent is when I really know how to go in and I know how to pray. I want you to go sign up. It's not going to be a religious workshop. It's going to be real, okay? You think I'm going in right now. I'm going to really come into some places in your heart and your soul that real awesome man, that great man that God has assigned for your life, you're going to learn how to pray for him, and he's going to experience some miraculous things that he's going to know how it happened. You ain't got to talk about it. You got to be about it. Because as a Black couple, it's time for us to prosper. Do you all agree? And don't just put that on money, you all. It's time for us to live united. It's time for you to benefit. You done been through too much not to experience the benefits of your covenant relationship. But you got to know the spiritual principles with specificity for your life. In closing, the worst thing a woman can do is compare the great man that was given to her with another man. Don't you ever compare him with no other businessman, not your boss, not the preacher, not the pastor, not your brother, no other couple. I don't care what it looked like. Don't ever compare him, because every man is great within his own self. And you got to learn how to pray for the man, because yes, he's hurt you, because we've all been hurt. And the first man that hurt you wasn't him. A lot of men, a lot of husbands is paying the price for what daddy did and daddy did not do. And that is not his responsibility. That is not his call. That is not his assignment. Okay? You got to learn how to love the hell out of him in order for him to know how to love the hell out of you. Well, I think I can close on that note, okay? I want you all to go to that bit.ly, bit.ly/DW workshops. That means dunamis woman. You're a dunamis woman. Sign up, because I got 3 awesome classes, workshops. How to pray for the man that hurt you. We're going to get into all that, okay? How to pray to get results, okay? You all, it's time to get results. I don't pray to just be praying. Okay, let me tell you something. I know how to walk it out. I know how to talk it out. I know how to move it out. I know how to live it out. I know how to look it out. Every part of my being is about prayer to get results, okay? And the last thing is you're going to learn how to walk effectively in your spiritual authority. Oh, it's time. It's time for you to get results for your life, for your legacy, for your children. Just because they're grown and gone don't mean it's over. Let me tell you something. An old person told me a long time ago. They said, baby, let me tell you something. You ain't grown as long as your mother and your father is breathing and walking this earth. They don't care if you're married. They don't care if you do this. You ain't grown until they're gone. Well, you know what? When both of them gone, then you're grown. Because you know what? Now it's time for you to produce more. It's time for you to live. It's time for you to continue to produce for your life and your legacy. All right? Your children are in need of you. 18 don't make them grown. 18 makes them out illegally to be out of your house. But guess what? You still have a responsibility, because they still came from your womb. They still came from your umbilical cord that was cut. And you know what? And now even the man that God has given you, it's time for you to take that responsibility. You all have a wonderful night. I love you. Take care. If you're not a part of Mighty Christian Women, go and join our private group, okay? Because that's where I do a lot of things in there. It's going to be off the chain. And as we coming up in these next few months, take the time to go to that bit.ly. Look at all the workshops that we have coming up, because we're going to get prepared for a wonderful, miraculous new year that you ain't going to just talk about it. But as long as you stick with Dunamis D, as long as you stick with Dunamis Woman, we're going to be about it and we're going to get results. All right? Have a good one.